this short presentation, I will introduce you to the definition of smuggling of migrants as established in the SOM Protocol, which supplements the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, to which Pakistan is a party. This will be a brief recap of some of the issues that you have discussed with Professor Schlönhardt. How can we define the smuggling of migrants? Article 3 of the Smuggling of Migrants Protocol provides that smuggling is the procurement in order to obtain directly or indirectly a financial or other material benefit of the illegal entry of a person into a state party of which the person is not a national. Basically, the smuggling of migrants is a process which involves assisting an individual to circumvent the immigration controls of the destination state, or very often also of a number of transit states, with the objective of benefiting financially or materially from this illegal entry. Usually, there is a person, the smuggled migrant, that consents to participate in the process and that pays money or provides some other advantage or benefit to the smuggler in order to facilitate their clandestine entry into another country. The migrant smuggling definition can be broken into two main elements. The first is the action, so what is done. The second is the purpose, why it is done. So let's look at the action first. The action is the procurement of illegal entry, which means crossing borders without complying with the necessary requirements for legal entry that are established by the receiving state. The smuggled person is someone who does not have the nationality or the resident status in the territory in which he is being or she is being smuggled. This is an important element because the smuggling offense is not intended to deal with a national or with a permanent resident of your country. So the smuggling of such person would be in breach of probably state regulations concerning immigration. Now let's look at the second component of this definition, and this is the purpose. The purpose is obtaining directly or indirectly a financial or other material benefit. This is really a key requirement of the smuggling offense. A material or a financial benefit could be any type of financial reward, non-financial reward, a payment, it could be a bribe, it could be an advantage, it could be a privilege, or it could be a service, also a service of a sexual nature. So, to establish the crime of smuggling of migrants according to the Smuggling of Migrants Protocol, it is necessary that the offender engages in the action of procuring the legal entry of a person into a country on which the person is not a national and nor a permanent resident, with the intention and for the purpose of obtaining a financial or another material benefit. Under the smuggling protocol, states are also required to criminalize a number of related conducts. These include enabling illegal stay. This means enabling a person who is not a national or a permanent resident to remain in the state concerned without complying with the necessary requirements. For example, this offense can cover those who assist an individual in unlawfully extending his or her stay in a country, even in those cases in which that individual had initially entered lawfully the country. The second type of related conducts are document fraud offenses. So this is about producing, procuring, providing, or possessing a fraudulent travel or identity document, where this is done with the purpose of obtaining a material benefit or a financial benefit. Migrant smuggling can be abusive. People who are smuggled may be subjected to violence, to beatings, to sexual assault. Under Article 6 of the Smuggling of Migrants Protocol, this offense can be considered aggravated when it involves A. circumstances that endanger or are likely to endanger the lives or safety of migrants. For example, when migrants are transported on dinghies across the sea, or for example, when migrants are transported in refrigerator trucks where they can hardly breathe. Other circumstances that should be considered as aggravating are those that entail inhuman or degrading treatment, including for exploitation. Well, here we have to note that where there is exploitation, depending on the circumstances of the case and the presence of other elements of the crime, a smuggling offense could also become a trafficking offense. We will discuss this later. Who can be liable for smuggling? So, of course, the direct perpetrator, but also his or her accomplice, so those that help and participate in aid or abet the smuggling operation. This could be, for example, those that provide accommodation during the travel of the migrant. Organizers or those who direct the smuggling process are also to be considered criminally liable. And then we have legal persons. It's very important to establish the liability of legal persons because they are often used to shield natural persons from liability, and they can play quite a significant role in the overall smuggling process. This could be the case, for example, for travel agencies that could serve as intermediaries for organized crime groups. Then we have commercial carriers, for example, airlines. They are responsible for verifying the documents of passengers and for reporting to the authorities that migrants traveled or attempted to travel without the required documents. The protocol is not intended to criminalize individuals or organizations such as faith-based groups, NGOs, that facilitate the legal entry of migrants and refugees for humanitarian reasons and not for profit. In other words, the protocol cannot be used as the legal basis for prosecuting those that act with a humanitarian intent or that act on the basis of close family ties and that have no purpose of obtaining a financial or material benefit. This is very clear also from the drafting history of the protocol and by the fact that they emphasized the importance of including the purpose of obtaining a financial or material benefit as a key requirement of the smuggling offense. Thank you for your attention.